What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We finally found out the news about the 10x champions this week, guys. As usual, we're gonna have a 10x on champions from Ancient Shards, Sacred Shards, and Void Shards, like every other second week of the month. Now, this time around, is all about turn meter manipulation. So if you're looking for some of the best turn meter boosters or some of the best champions that decrease turn meter, this might be the right 10x for you. First, I just want to let you know I partner up with Soundstripe, which is a royalty-free music library. So if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, feel free to check them out. I will be leaving their link in the description down below and in the pinned comments. Plus, I can save you 15% on checkout by using code SKRATCH. Now, moving over to the champions, guys. In terms of Void champions, we only have one of them. As usual, it's pretty good when we only have one Void champion if you want to get it. Now, I remember I pulled some shards on an account a couple of weeks ago, and everybody was shocked to see the riches of that account. Was loaded with champions, and everybody was asking, what is this guy even looking for? Well, he was looking for a Blind Seer. We're gonna have a 10x on Blind Seer. I literally have random gear on her. I'm not using her at all, not even in Faction Wars. She got power creeped at least for the very end game. So she's still an awesome champion, don't get me wrong. If you get one, I actually made a guide on her as well, showing that she can be pretty useful. But I'm not personally using her anywhere at all. So on the A1, attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 40% chance fully booked to decrease the turn meter by 15%. If this skill right here would have been 100% chance to decrease the turn meter, same like Allure, it would have been amazing. I think Allure, she has it 100%. I can't even remember it, honestly, but this is just not reliable enough to decrease the turn meter. On the A2, we have block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns, and a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. That's on a 3-turn cooldown. Pretty good skill. The revive skill is on a 5-turn cooldown. It's pretty long, honestly. Revives all that allies to 35% HP. Places a block damage buff on all allies except this champion for 1 turn. Now, I would decrease this to 4-turn cooldown. I would increase the chance right here, and bang, she would be amazing for PvE. Even better than she is. Her aura increases ally defense in battles by 34%. Pretty solid overall. Now, it's not a champion that I would go to get on a 10x unless I wanna collect all the Pokemons to select this, you know. The next champion we have on the list, guys, she's actually a very solid one. We had her on a guarantee event a couple of months ago. Lady Kimi, right? Turn meter booster, you want to have a lot of speed on her, more or less. Then increases accuracy. She does a lot of stuff for your team, so she is absolutely amazing. On the A1, attacks 1 enemy, then attacks the enemy with the highest turn meter. Will attack the same enemy twice if this initial target also has the highest turn meter. The second hit has a 50% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15. Pretty interesting A1, but on the A2, attacks all enemies, fully booked, 100% chance to land decrease accuracy and decrease speed for 2 turns. Also, 100% chance fully booked to decrease each target's turn meter by 15%. On the A3, removes 1 random buff from each enemy, then 100% chance to land the block buffs debuff for 2 turns if they have a buff removed. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 15, places 50% increased accuracy and 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Now, this skill right here is a very powerful one, guys. Her passive as well is very interesting. Whenever this champion places a debuff on an enemy, also decreases that enemy's turn meter by 5% for each debuff placed. Whenever this champion or an ally receives a debuff, fills their turn meter by 5% for each debuff received. Overall, she's an awesome champion. If the aura would have been for Arena as well, or a bit lower and all battles, she would have been unstoppable. Increases ally speed in Doom Tower battles only. I have her built on 3 speed sets, a bit of accuracy. I'm not using her much at the moment, and whenever I'm using her, I'm never using her as my first turn meter booster. That's why she's not the fastest. I'm using her against some pleb teams that they still have tons of resistance out there. and she makes them like super easy to kill, you know. The next champion we have on the list, guys, and I kind of have a weird build on her because I'm only using her at the moment for the Doom Tower, okay? So I have her build for the Dark Fae. How you guys can see, I don't really have much stuff on her. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm missing the weapon, but other than that, she's pretty ready. I think she has one of the best skills in the entire game, and that's Energize. Places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, fills the term meter of all allies by 30, decreases the term meter of all enemies by 30. She has a pretty good base speed as well. Her aura increases ally speed in all battles by 24. On the A2, attacks one enemy, fully depletes the term meter. On the A1, transfers all debuffs from this champion to the target. So the build that I had on her, guys, I had the weapon, that's what I had on her to bring me to the speed that I wanted, to make her the fastest in the team, 250. Was for the Dark Fae in the Doom Tower, and that's about it. I'm not using her anywhere else at the moment. Since I got my second Sifi, I kind of dropped Lyssandra. I don't really need her as much, and I have Lady Kimi as well. So that kind of put her back a bit on the bench, to say like this, you know. Those are the masteries that I have on her for dungeons as well, how you guys can see. Tier 6 War Master. So I haven't went for the Eagle Eye. The next champion that we have on the list is one that I don't own already, and that is Nartil. I feel like he's pretty underrated as well. On the A1, Giant Slayer, triple hits, has a 30% chance to land the poison, 50% chance fully booked. On the A2, attacks all enemies, 75% chance fully booked to land the stun on all enemies for 1 turn, places a 30% decreased speed, and if the target is not under a stun debuff. This is very powerful even for faction wars. Having this champion for the undead faction wars, he makes it like a walk in the park, honestly. He's such a powerful champion. Attacks all enemies, decreases the term meter by 75%, and that's on a 4-turn cooldown. I would personally love to get Nartil. Awesome, awesome champion. Now, if we're going at the epic champions, I'm pretty sure I have most of them up and running, except a couple of them. So if we're going to Sylar, she's not here. We're going to come back to her afterwards, but we're going to go for Deacon Armstrong. He's going to be on the list as well, guys. Let me just go down here. I have him built on 3 speed sets. Some speed, some accuracy. Again, I'm not using the champion anywhere, so I just have the gear on him just to be there, you know. But he's pretty powerful as well. He's very unique. Him and Seer are actually the only 2 champions in the entire game that boost turn meter and gain an extra turn while they're doing that. That's why they are viable for 2-to-1 ratio clan boss teams without needing any other crazy turn meter boosters in there. Increases ally speed in all battles by 19. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 15. Decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 15 and grants an extra turn. And right here we have an AoE defense down. On the A1, we have attacks one enemy 2 times. We have a small chance of landing a leech. Fully booked, he has a 50% chance. Awesome, awesome champion. Great for faction wars. Just great all around to use on any accounts. I'm using him on my free-to-play account, and I gotta say, I love him. He's so powerful. Honestly, changed the arena for me there. Then we have Shatterbones. I'm actually gonna go right here because I gotta find Sylar as well. And she is right here, just so I make sure I don't forget about her. Awesome champion for the Spider Dungeon. Awesome for Doom Tower. Awesome for Arena as well, guys. So on the A1, AoE attack. On the A2, AoE attack and an 80% chance to land a decreased accuracy. On the A3, AoE places a 30% decreased speed on all enemies for 2 turns. Decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 40. Awesome on a stun set. That's how I have her built from back in the day. I used to run her on the Spider, used to run her in Dungeon, sometimes in Arena. She just rocks. Now her aura is for faction creeps, increases speed by 22%. Pretty good base stats. Definitely a champion that you don't want to sleep on if you get her. Then we have Shatterbones. And we have another one left afterwards. We're gonna go to Armina, okay? Another big mama. We have like 3 big mamas in the game. She's pretty solid as well, honestly. Out of the whole list, I feel like probably she's the... I would rank her like the lowest out of all the champions that we named so far. But she's still pretty good. On the A1, we have a low chance of landing a stun. On the A2, AoE, 75% chance to land the defense down. Steals 7.5 thermometer from targets under defense down. And on the A3, decreases the thermometer of all enemies by 20. And we have fully booked 100% chance to land the stun for 1 turn on enemies who have their thermometer fully depleted. The passive fills this champion's thermometer by 10 each time an enemy receives a stun debuff. Pretty solid champion as well. How I specified, out of all of them, I feel like she might be one of the worst that we named, but she's still very powerful. So actually it's a pretty solid 10x. That's kind of like what it means. Shatterbones as well, I feel like he's such an underrated champion. Increases ally accuracy in arena battles by 70. On the A1, places an increased attack buff on all allies if the attack is critical. That's a small increased attack version, but it's still good. Attacks all enemy 3 times. Has a 75% chance to decrease the thermometer by 30. So that can go up to 90% chance. It's gonna be for every single hit. And on the A3, places a 15% decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Fills the thermometer of all allies by 25%. Another awesome champion, guys. I actually have a guide on quite a few of these ones. Feel free to check them out if you're going on my channel. On the Champion Spotlight playlist, you'll be able to find a guide on pretty much every single one of them except Nartil and maybe Armina. But that was all for this video. Do let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the 10x? Are you guys gonna try to go for any of the champions? Much love, and I'll catch you all soon on a different one. Peace.